This is a mid-80s Stratocaster. Look at this poor neglected girl. Dirty, rusty. But we're going to give her a facelift. This is a guitar that I bought new. Never really played it very much, but I let somebody borrow it. They brought it back about 10 years later and didn't return it to me because I had moved. So they were nice enough to return it to my parents, who put it in the attic of their garage, unbeknownst to me, and it sat there for about another 20 years. So it's been a bit mistreated. All the screws are all rusty. So those are being replaced. Switches are dirty. This bridge is all rusted and pitted, so that's being replaced. We're going to take it all apart and clean everything up. Actually, pick guard, I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like somebody's been playing it with a piece of barbed wire. That's pretty scratched up. So we're going to try to make up for ignoring this old girl for a while and pretty her back up again. So stay tuned for developments. Alright, well, I got this girl pretty much apart. The good news is that it's basically all intact. It's dirty and it's rusty, but it's all there. And nobody's messed with the routed out pockets. Nobody's changed the pickups. Nobody's done anything. It hasn't been cleaned, maintained, anything. The bad news is that a lot of the hardware is rusted. And as much as I would like to just clean everything all up and put it back together again, it's just going to rust even faster. I mean, I've got a sandblasting cabinet or an abrasive blasting. I put a real fine glass bead in it, and I could glass bead these bridge saddles, but then there wouldn't be any plating left on them at all, and they would rust up right away. So I pretty much have to replace the bridge assembly. The tremolo I don't know about. I don't play with one, so it doesn't matter to me. So I'm not sure what I'm going to wind up doing, depending on how the pricing works out. The electronics all seemed fine. Nothing was noisy, believe it or not. Pickups I'm not sure about. I could clean the pickups up, put them back in, but these are the old single coil pickups. I sort of like them, but then when they came out with the noiseless ones, a lot of people changed them out so you don't have problems when you're playing a place where there's a lot of neon and fluorescent lighting and transformers and stuff that the guitar picks up. I don't play out hardly at all, actually not at all anymore, but I've got a bar in my basement and I do have some neon lights and fluorescent lights down there, so not sure what I'm going to do yet with that. I am going to clean up all the frets, dress those, oil the neck. The tuners are the more modern locking tuners, so I'm going to leave them alone. They look fine. Definitely needs a new pick guard. So we'll see how it goes and report in after a bit. Hopefully you can see how rusty that bridge is. That's why I'm not saving it. If it wasn't so rusted and pitted, I'd just clean that up and reuse it. But it needs replacing. So that's what we're going to do. Right now, I'm going to check all the frets. And we're going to dress them all and polish them. they look pretty good. There's some wear, but nothing that a very light dressing won't take out. And they're mostly just tarnished and crappy looking. One of them might be a little high. Yeah, I might need a little file down on a couple of them, but basically they look pretty good. Yuck. Yuck. I think I'm going to hit that again just to get the rest of the DNA and debris and Cheetos powder, stale beer, all that stuff out of there. Okay, through the magic of video, we flash forward a week. And we now have a new pickguard to replace the one that was all gouged up. I've gone through, taken all the pickups apart. Whoops. I was debating replacing them with the newer style noiseless pickups, but decided to stick with the originals. I cleaned them all up. They were very rusty, but I was able to clean them up to protect them from rusting in the future. I put a very light coat of lacquer over all the bare metal parts. Hopefully that will be okay. I cleaned up the switch, cleaned up the pots. So we're going to reuse all the electronics that were all original. Later on today, the new bridge and tremolo are supposed to show up, along with all of the screws for the pickguard. In fitting the pickguard, I found that I have to modify the opening for the neck pocket just a tiny bit to get it to fit right, which I'm going to do with a Dremel tool. Once I get the pickguard fit perfectly, then I will start installing the pickups and the controls into the pickguard. And then later on today, when the new bridge comes in, I'll be able to install that along with the pickguard. One other thing I did, I dressed all the frets. I scrubbed the neck, the fingerboard 3 times to get all the accumulated crud off of it. Cleaned up very nicely. Frets came out nice. There's plenty of meat left on the frets. The nut has a very small crack, but it looks like a very old crack. I never noticed it before, but it seems to be fine. It seems stable. Nothing's moving. Fender used good material for these nuts, so I'm guessing it's ivory or bone. So there's no need for me to replace that. I'm not going to. But I'm going to modify the pickguard now, and we'll proceed from there.
WXUR, Herkimer, Utica.
Okay. Jack is soldered back on. The new pickguard is on. Knobs are reinstalled. Switch is reinstalled. I put some screws in this. Start reinstalling the bridge. Okay, we've got the bridge screwed down. According to Fender, they're supposed to be 1/8 of an inch under this end of the bridge. My fret rocker is exactly 1/8 of an inch thick, so I've got it stuck under the end and just sort of taped in place, and also with tape underneath it so it doesn't scratch the guitar. Not that 1 or 2 more scratches is going to make any difference. All right, so I'm going to install 3 springs. And those 3 springs are going to hold the bridge in place while I do all the guitar setup work. And then after the setup is all done and the adjustments are all made, then I will set the spring tension. And I did resolder the ground wire to the claw too. Okay. So I guess I will clean up some of the mess around here, put some knobs on, and start putting some strings on. I figured before we get too far along in this project, I will just plug this thing in quick and make sure that it still makes noise. Seeing as how I had it all apart, desoldered stuff and resoldered stuff, and there's a few different things that I could have screwed up, so I figured might as well check it. Okay, we are tuned to pitch, intonation is set, so it's time to adjust the springs on the tremolo. So we're just going to back them off evenly. Until my metal spacer falls out. Here we go. So with any luck, that should be set correctly. Okay, that's it. It's a new pickguard, new bridge and tremolo, new pickguard screws, new back cover plate, new strings. We dressed and polished the frets, oiled the fingerboard, checked the neck relief, adjust the string heights. I did not set the pickup height yet. I got to do that. Intonation is set, but pickup heights are the last detail. And that's it. We're all set. We'll clip the extra strings off, put it back in the collection, and maybe play it once in a while.